Hi, my name is Shandell Bailey, and today I will be discussing the stigma surrounding autism and perceptions of applied behavior analysts, aka ABA therapy, in minority communities aiming to embrace differences and create inclusive and exclusive environments for all with autism. Um, a little backstory: I currently work with ABA therapy, and I love it. Before that, I was working as a paraprofessional and a teacher where I experienced both roles with students and ABA therapy. I've experienced one on one sessions and with children or clients in general with autism. And for the most part, I've learned so much. It brings so much awareness to certain things, to even my life, but it also brings the awareness of the lack of knowledge of knowing what autism is, the lack of outreach for resources, not just from the parents but from certain schools and certain areas. And I'm here to bring more awareness and letting the world know that ABA therapy is really resourceful, positive, impactful therapy that I think all with autism should experience or at least do once in their life. So, I will be exploring cultural perspectives on therapy and the challenges faced by minoritized communities in healthcare decisions. We will be understanding autism perceptions across cultures and their impact on therapy choices, examining stigmas that hinder families from seeking early interventions, such as fear of judgment and misunderstandings about autism, encouraging open dialogue to foster compassion and support for all children and families navigating autism. Please join me in this breaking down barrier and promoting awareness and understanding to autism. I hope you enjoy. Welcome, everyone. Today we'll explore autism stigma and perceptions of applied behavior analysts, aka ABA therapy, in minoritized communities. Autism spectrum disorder, ASD, requires early intervention for optimal developmental outcome. Yet, stigma often hinders families from seeking services like ABA therapy. In many minoritized communities, cultural perceptions create barriers to accessing necessary interventions. With understanding that and addressing these barriers, it can foster inclusivity and it support every child's development. As we proceed, we'll further examine autism and effects of stigma. So let's continue this important discussion together. Introducing autism requires clarity and compassion. The research question is, what is the impact of parental stigma on the utilization of early intervention services for children with autism within minority communities? The hypothesis suggests that parents facing higher stigma are less likely to seek these services, emphasizing the need to address stigma to improve the utilization. Key studies by Rivera Figueroa, Lee, and others support this hypothesis by highlighting stigma's influence on parental decisions. Let's dive into the heart of the audience as you explore the world of autism stigma, especially the tricky beast known as affiliate stigma. This is the roller coaster of guilt and shame, and it can hit parents like a ton of bricks. And it's something hard to deal with after their child is diagnosed with autism stigma. Autism diagnosis. This sneaky stigma often plays support to denial, steering parents towards hitting the pause button on getting help, or even speaking up. Cracking the code on these reactions is crucial, very, very crucial, as tackling affiliate stigma head on can lead to faster and more effective interventions, making life a whole lot brighter for both the child and the family. When we look at the utilization of services for children with autism, it's vital to understand the disparities that exist across different racial and ethnic groups. Research has constantly and consistently shown that these disparities can be significantly effective on how a child receives the support they need. One key factor contributing to these disparities is parental stigma, of course. Parents are the first teachers. When parents feel stigmatized, they may hesitate to access early intervention services, which are crucial for better development outcomes. This delay in seeking help can have a lasting impact on a child's development. It's important to highlight that while stigma can act as a barrier, awareness and education can help change this narrative. By addressing stigma, we can improve access to services and ultimately enhance the developmental trajectories for children with autism. Let's keep these points in mind as we explore further into the role of stigma and help seeking behaviors in the next section. Stigma significantly hinders help seeking for behavioral health services, as fear of judgment prevents individuals from assessing support. Cultural beliefs and social pressure can worsen the stigma, portraying help seeking as a weakness. Consequently, these barriers may lead to negative long term outcomes by delaying early interventions that could improve well being. The following discussion will examine more methods and study designs investigating these issues. Now let's get into the methods and the study design for our research. First, I chose a correlation research design. This allows us to examine the relationship between parental stigma and autism service utilization within manipulating variables. It's an effective way to understand naturally occurring behaviors and attitudes within our target communities. Our participants are parents or guardians of children diagnosed with autism who reside in minority communities. This focus helps us capture the unique challenges and experiences these families face. For recruitment, we utilize online surveys distributed through parenting groups, community organizations, and social media platforms. This approach ensures a broad, inclusive participant pool, leveraging accessible and familiar channels for our audience. It is very crucial to highlight this methodology is informed by previous studies such as those by Rivera, Figueroa, and others, and which emphasize the importance of understanding diverse community needs. In this slide, we're digging into the heart of our study by examining the key variables and how we measure them. The independent variable we're focusing on is a parental stigma toward autism. This is crucial because the perceptions and attitudes of parents can significantly impact the level of support that children receive. The dependent variable is utilization of autism services such as ABA therapy, speech therapy, and special education services. Understanding this relationship helps identify barriers to service, access, access, and opportunities for intervention. To quantify these variables, we're using like RT scale stigma questionnaires to assess parental attitudes, and we're collecting records of therapy services received to gauge service utilization. It's very important to note that these measures are not just numbers and that they represent real experiences and challenges faced by families and minority communities. Now let's get into the understanding the hypothetical data that illustrates the impact of stigma on service use. In this slide, I analyze hypothetical data on the relationship between parental stigma and the use of autism services. Key findings show that higher stigma correlates with lower service utilization, suggesting parental perceptions affect decisions to seek services like ABA and speech therapy. The Pearson correlation analysis yielded a R value of negative 0.45, indicating a moderate negative correlation. Addressing parental stigma could definitely enhance service use, supporting children's developmental progress. And also, this insight paves the way for strategies that reduce stigma and promote service engagement. This slide outlines future research directions essential for advancing knowledge and practice, focusing on three key areas: culturally responsive autism education programs. These programs address diverse family backgrounds to enhance effectiveness and inclusivity. Community based stigma reduction strategies. Creating supportive environments fosters openness and reduces stigma at the grassroots level. Interventions for parental acceptance and engagement. Parental involvement is super crucial for improving developmental outcomes for children with autism. Each approach should be adaptable to various cultural contexts for maximum effectiveness. Oh my, sorry. Conclusion. This stigma around autism can throw quite the monkey's wrench into parents' plans, making them hesitate to seek services for their kiddos. This can lead to fewer services being used and delays in getting the help their children need. To turn this around, we need to tackle the stigma with a big old dose of education and cultural sensitivity outreach. It's all about creating a world where families affected by autism also feel embraced and empowered, ensuring everyone gets the best chance to shine bright. With that being said, my name is Shandell Bailey, and I hope I brought some type of awareness to autism, especially to the autism stigma. Unfortunately, parents have, and so do certain clients. So let's make the world brighter. Thank you. Have a good night. These are my references.